Hello, this is another one part. I wanted to just say overcoming is a journey. It's not a one thing that you have believed in yourself, you're working hard, everything is done. No. Life happens. Real life is life. How do you choose your life partner? What is going on? There are so many things. Communication. I realized I said there are some skills I need to learn. Relationship skills. And within the relationship skills, communication is a key thing. So, the challenge of being quiet and feeling that I don't have what to say, and in most cases, didn't go well and handed me another bigger challenge. I was stuffing in my feelings, not speaking out for myself, not being assertive, saying how I'm feeling, saying what I think should be done, discussing the issues. That became the problem. And in relationship, whether it is between you and your sister, siblings, parents, everyone, you need to say about you. I don't need to point a finger at you. I need to, because when you point like this, all these three others are pointing at me. Only these two are pointing at you. That means I need to check on myself and talk about me. What does Angeline want to say about herself now? It is, what is it that I'm missing? Where do I need help with? So in this step of overcoming, we need to remember, I realize that we need to remember that we are a seed. For us to grow, we need to be in a fertile soil and be nurtured. So, first of all, you have to be a seed. Example, this is groundnuts. This in itself, it is a fruit. I can eat it. But it is also a seed. It produces a lot of fruits. One like this put on the soil will bring a whole plant with several, very many. So if I have these as my seeds, I have to put them in the soil, give them time to mature, get out of the ground, get the sun, the rain, and grow. How many months does groundnuts take in the farm? Around 3 to 4, it's around 4 months. Then we have to harvest. But it's looking like they're the same. No, they're different. These are beans. Same color, but different. These are beans. This is groundnuts. So some say this is peanuts. These are beans. All I can eat, but they are different. Yes, they're different, but they are all food. But at this stage, this is a seed too. They grow to short plants with so many pods. The groundnuts has its fruits and pods under the soil. But the beans will have the pods hanging on the plant. Yes, but there will be several from one of the seeds. So the seed is one, but it germinates. After 3.5 or 4 months, you go to the plantation and remove The peanuts, you have to unearth. You have to dig it from the roots to get the peanuts from the roots of the plant. Then put it with everything and put it out to dry. Now, with the beans, you will pluck it. The pods are out on the branches, but you will need the whole plant. Is easy because it has a taproot. You pull it like that and take the whole thing home to dry. Then you will remove it from the pods by maybe beating the whole thing together and remove the chaff and make it clean. Now, the groundnuts, it has a hard shell. With the whole plant, you put it to dry, then you now separate the plant from the fruit. The fruit has a shell which is carrying two of these. So you remove that again and put in sacks or whatever. Before you cook it or anything, you have to remove this from the shell. You physically take one at a time and break to get the peanut. Okay? Now, composition of the pea and the bean are also different. Now, looking at both the seeds, it shows the uniqueness of both. So you are unique. I knew I was also unique, but I had to put in the seed, nurture myself. What is the knowledge? For me to grow, I have to be the seed. Put the seed in a fertile soil, cover it, and give it time. So I had to take time in the education. For me, I have to invest in education. With average IQ, being aware, I have to invest in that to achieve. To reach from that farm girl to now a PhD student, I had to invest in my education. But remember, the seed is put in the soil and nurtured to come out. There are others who nurture you. So along this life, I've been nurtured. I've not been alone. I've been nurtured. And I continue to be nurtured. But I also need to help nurture others. In the growth, it is not just the seed. The seed cannot take itself to the soil. Somebody has to take it to the right soil. And then the rains and the sun and the weeding. Remember I told you I was a farm girl? We could weed. You don't just plant the maize and leave it there for 3 months and hope you're going to go and harvest and get. No. We plant with the manure. Then there's weeding. When the plants have just come out from the soil, they are this height, maybe that. For maize, anything, there's the first, because when they are coming up, the weeds are also growing with it. So you remove the weeds, especially when it is beans and peanuts. The weeding has to be done earlier because the branches, it is going to cover most of the place. But if you do it earlier and leave the place clean, it covers the soil so the weeds will not grow under the branches of the beans or the groundnuts or the peas, the peanut. Okay? So it will take all the sun and the nutrition and the rain, and the underneath it, the weeds and the whatever will die, will turn yellowish and not flourish. So you are not under somebody's canopy dying. You have to be out there getting the sun and the rain. You have to stand tall. Okay. I learned, because I had to prove myself growing up in the farm. It reached a time in 70s where in Tanzania, something was happening. I was young then. Something happened in Tanzania, politically or socially, that made people to move from Tanzania to Uganda to Kenya to other countries. They were moving away from Tanzania. And Mugori County is at the border of Kenya and Tanzania. And we had some relatives all that time of my great-grandfather or my grandfather. They had moved from Kisumu along the lake. They walked past the border and went to Tanzania. So in the 70s, when these things was happening, 2 families came walking. They walked about 15 people and walked through our gate. And that day I can still remember until today. They came, children and women. It was 2 families, later as I defined it. Husband and wife and children, and husband and wife and children. So they came in that they had to come back to Kenya for safety and to start off again. I was a child. All these people moving with these baskets, others tied with luggages tied with lassos, walking, coming. They came that day and then they were welcomed. My father was there, my mom was there, and it was like we had to cook once more. That evening, we ate, several of us. That was the beginning of having several people in my family. I was young then. So I had to prove myself. You know the seed coming out of the soil? You had to prove yourself. You had to survive. Challenge of having, the time I was in high school, we were about in the holidays. The youngsters in that homestead could be about 20. Those in primary and secondary put together. When my father was sending us to school, he was saying, oh, so-and-so got this number, this. Now the rest has to follow so-and-so. I can remember one time, I tried so much. I was number 3, but I was not the highest. My nephew, my late nephew Emmanuel, was number 1 in his class. And that is what Dad talked about. In his way, he was trying to encourage us to continue and work hard. But in my head, I was like, I'm in this class, and he's in this class. But then I realized, no. He was trying to say there's still room for improvement. Yeah. So life became that you can support somebody with the little you have, even if in the farm, you can still support somebody. I know there were two families, but after the following day or 2 days, one of the families moved out to another hill, a cocoa, to be with another family because that was too much. 15 more people in a home, it was hard. So we could survive with the other one family. Then what my dad did for this couple was to build for them a house immediately. You know, long time Harambee spirit. You just tell the villagers, yeah, we have visitors, we need a house, a 2-roomed house or 3-roomed house. Touched immediately. People bring things. They could bring, this is the tree, this is the what, yeah, somebody, this is the, they bring even the twigs for tying. And then the day came and those who were putting the mud, within one day, somebody has brought the iron sheet for the door. Makeshift was done within a day. Me being a girl, as our job was in the kitchen. You had to make this porridge, you had to cook this, you had to cook that, you had to cook that. And thank God. That was the time that even God stepped in for my dad. He could go for the hunting and he would bring the gazelles, those big things. So you know when they bring and then they prepare it and give us the meat, immediately the whole matumbo, the intestines were cleaned very well and boiled and fried, and that is a meal for all of us. With this, remember we are in the farm, vegetables we just get from the garden. Somebody preparing that, somebody's preparing veggies, somebody's preparing the whole ugali. And then the other parts of the meat. But then any meat which was brought from the hunting was being distributed. This part of the nini, the head, there was somebody who could come for to make it and then go with the head and the hide for getting money. And then there's one leg, the other leg goes to the uncle, the other leg goes to the auntie, the other one goes to, then we remain, what remains you put, because there were, if that is done for one, then the next day one is gotten, others are roasted, so that we cook another day. Remember, we were many. And the number of boys that came also was higher than the girls. The girls were few. Like in the family that remained, there was only one girl and 4 boys. Yeah, as we know, boys eat. So the ugali, we could cook that tray for the boys, the other one for the girls. So the girl joined us for preparing, cleaning, and everything. We were already a big family, plus another family coming in. So that is my overcoming back at home. Now, if I was in school, I needed to put that, and I needed to know that I had to get something for myself. God bless, God bless, God bless. Thank you. Remember to be honest.